Hello, Story K viewers. Welcome to a Q&A about Sun Hung Min.
But if there was like that one hope or that one person that you wish it could, it would have to be someone like a Harry Kane that they spent so.
Well, obviously, hiring Jurgen Klopp would be a dream signing for any team in the world because, he's a very desirable manager. Kevin De Bruyne, I want to touch on him a little bit. That would be cool, too, because
This is real and it's a big deal. Expectations, so because the rest of the team hasn't stepped up to the level that
also, too, you could make an argument, if not for Sun Hung Min, they
struck me, right? And it was a thing that I couldn't get out of my body, so much so like when I had my daughter, the day she was born, I watched the game with her on my chest in the hospital with a baby, and I'm chanting, Dale, 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 black and gold.
바로 어제 스토리K는 MLS 팬 윌과 LAFC 팬 닉의 신들린 방송을 소개했고, 오늘은 그들과 더욱 특별한 인터뷰를 진행했습니다. 두 사람의 채널 영상들을 보면 알겠지만 그들은 특정 선수의 이름값만으로 무조건 극찬했던 유튜버가 아니고 뼛속 깊이에서부터 축구를 사랑하는 찐팬들입니다. 손흥민이란 이름에 기대어 방송하는 것이 목적일 사람들이었다면 애초에 MLS가 아니라 미국에서 더욱 인기 있는 스포츠의 팟캐스트를 운영하는 것이 현명합니다. 결국 가장 객관적이고 이성적인 관점에서 LAFC 손흥민에 대해 들을 수 있다고 기대했고, 언론을 통해 전해지는 손흥민 현상과 누구보다 축구를 사랑하는 MLS 팬들에게 그가 어떤 의미인지 실체를 알고 싶었습니다. 지금 보실 영상은 말 그대로 MLS를 통해 살아가는 사람 중 한 명, 그리고 딸을 부둥켜 안고 병원에서마저 LAFC의 경기를 지켜본 블랙앤골드의 심장 같은 남자에게 손흥민의 축구가 어떤 의미인지 100% 담겨 있습니다. 지금 만나보겠습니다.
Hello, Story K viewers. Welcome to a Q&A about Sun Hung Min and LAFC with my good friend Nick Chastain of the Voices of Black and Gold. I'm Will from @MLS Moves. I hope you guys enjoy this. Nick, how are we doing, my friend?
Man, I'm excited. This is exciting, and I'm ready to get into these questions. So let's do it.
All right, let's fire it away. First question. Sun Hung Min is about to play his first home game for LAFC. What are the reactions by the people of LA, and what are the expectations for Sun Hung Min in his first game?
Reactions are going to be great. You're going to have a packed BMO Stadium, Koreatown's buzzing, a lot of the Korean community, which we already have into the 3252, are buzzing about it. They will all be there. But some of the Korean Americans that have never been to a BMO Stadium game and never been to an LAFC game, now the eyes are there. They want to be there. We had that on our chat last week where they were saying, hey, I'm already buying tickets, trying to purchase these tickets for this next game. And so the buzz is real and it's a big deal. The expectations are huge. We're playing the number one team in the West. LAFC is 5 games behind them. We just came off of a road game where we get 5 points, but LAFC expects to get these 3 points. So expectations are very high, but the buzz is even better.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think the buzz is building up, and the unique thing about this is that because Sun Hung Min has had to play the first 3 games of his LAFC tenure on the road, it's built the anticipation up even more. And I think that it's going to be special and something that a lot of people never forget. It's going to be an incredible experience. I think people are excited. All right, the second question I have for you. Sun Hung Min has now played in 3 matches for LAFC. What do you think about his performance so far and his impact on the team?
His performance so far has been absolutely great. I mean, with under 2 weeks of him even training with the club, you see what he's already bringing, the leadership that he brings, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch, in the locker room with these young guys, the Ordazes, the Martinezes. I mean, this is a big deal. And so that's what he is known for. And then what was the second part of that question?
What do you think about his impact so far?
Yeah, his impact has been great. I mean, we got his first goal last night, free kick outside the box, absolutely banger of a goal. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then you see the disappointment from him walking around when we're not getting these 3 points, though, because the rest of the team hasn't stepped up to the level that maybe he's wanting. So his impact is great. The team just needs to come along with him.
I agree with that. I think that Sun Hung Min has already made his presence felt with this team. I think he's already acting like a captain, holding this team accountable, wanting them to win, saying they're not been good enough. And also, too, you could make an argument, if not for Sun Hung Min, they might have 0 points in the last 3 games without him. He drew the penalty in the first game. He was a key contributor in the second game. He had the free kick in the first game. If it wasn't for Son Heung-min, this team would be in big trouble. He's already the best player on the team as soon as he stepped in, and you're seeing that immediately on the pitch. Without him, I think they'd have 0 points in their last 3 games, and he's going to be the savior of this team in 2025.
100%.
So the third question, many Korean fans hope that some of Son Heung-min's former Premier League teammates or rivals will join LAFC in the future. Kevin De Bruyne's name comes up frequently, reflecting hopes for a number 10 role, right? Because they desperately need a number 10. Regardless of how realistic this is, what are your thoughts? And if you could bring in a Premier League player around Son's age, who would you want to see at LAFC as a fan? Like, who would you want to see him LAFC sign?
I think a lot of people, and this is going to be very far-fetched, okay, but a lot of people would love, after Harry Kane had did that video, talk about how much he missed him and stuff. Of course, LAFC fans are like, dude, what if? You know what I mean? Like, seriously, it's like, he says he misses him, please come. But the reality of it is, MLS has a bunch of rules that are really hard to move around certain players of that type of caliber. So I'm not sure how many of these type of players that we could actually bring or get. It would be more of a far-fetched for LAFC to be able to make that happen. But if there was like that one hope or that one person that you wish it could, it would have to be someone like a Harry Kane, that they spend so much time together. They have such a dynamic, a beautiful relationship that you would hope that would be able to come over.
I agree. Now, the team definitely needs a 10. We've seen that. There's no creativity in the midfield. Sonny's having to play so far back to try to get anything going. But if we're talking about one player that this team could use or would be awesome to see, it's Harry Kane. Harry Kane's probably the most effective goal scorer in the last 5 to 10 years, right? Arguably the most efficient goal scorer there is up top. And seeing him in LA with Sonny, especially after all their history together at Tottenham, would be special. And that would be my number 1 signing. Now, Kevin De Bruyne, I want to touch on him a little bit. That would be cool too, because Kevin De Bruyne is a legend in himself. He had a very good career at Man City. He sadly went to Napoli. Would have liked to see him in Major League Soccer from an MLS perspective. But Harry Kane's number 1. I don't think it's even close. Okay.
And can I add, people would love to see Kevin, like you said, but it's just that relationship that them two had, right? So you would hope,
So the fourth question, in a similar vein, Korean fans are interested to see, and they're paying attention, who will be LAFC's next manager in 2026. We know Steve Cherundolo, the current manager, is set to leave at the end of the season. There's going to be a vacancy, and we're going to see who they're going to fill that position with. Many people, regardless of realism, are mentioning names and managers who are close to Son Heung-min, like Klopp. There's also like Ange. What are your thoughts on this? And as an LAFC fan, I'm more of an MLS perspective. You're an LAFC perspective. You could bring in one coach from Europe. Who would you hope for and why?
Get to really talking with Spur fans and Korean fans, they're saying, no, we really don't like that. And then it's a split bag, Will. It's really weird, right? Like half do, half don't. And they have their reasons why. Any name like that could come, just as long as it's going to be a forward pressing team, one that's going to, not do these ping pong side to side, back to back type of plays. We want to move forward back how we used to back in our older days, and so we need a coach that's going to be able to run that type of system with us, more of a fast pace, high press, and that's what we're looking for. Any of those type of names, that would be fantastic, but I don't know where their relationship really sits for me, so it's hard for me to really speak on that particular one.
Well, obviously, hiring Jurgen Klopp would be a dream signing for any team in the world because, he's a very desirable manager. He obviously retired kind of young because he, I think, got wore out and didn't want to manage anymore. Ainge is an interesting one, too. Like you said, a lot of people are 50-50 on him. They say his style is very fun to watch, but it doesn't necessarily give you the best results, as we saw last year in the regular season. Tottenham struggled. They were like 16th or 17th in the Premier League. Obviously, a dream hire. Klopp would be amazing. But realistically, and I think he would have a lot of success in MLS with the style, we'll see what happens. Just hopefully they don't hire an American coach or anybody who's on this team right now. So the fifth question for you, Nick, and for me. Since Sun Heung-min signing, not only Korean fans but also people from North London are watching LAFC matches. How does that feel for you as an LAFC fan?
Absolutely fantastic, right? LAFC had 400,000 followers. Now they're sitting at 1.1 million. It shows you the global icon of this particular person, right? And that's great. You have more eyeballs on you, but with that comes pressure, and it's pressure that you've got to step up to, right? We feel that we are a big club here in MLS. Well, now you have a big time player, so you got to show that. And so having the new eyes and the new people, and even now seeing how we play and them saying, what is he doing? Like, why did he come to a club like this that is doing those side to sides, those back passes, not going forward, not making him come deep into a position that he isn't in? Like, that's something that they're going to have to understand isn't normally LAFC's motto or who their identity is, but with this coach that we have right now is, unfortunately, but we're on the way back to the right direction when we get a guy like Son on our team, because now he is the main piece that we will build around.
I agree with that, and I think it's good more from an MLS perspective to get all these new fans who haven't watched the league before to give it a chance to see if they like it. You know, check out a team in MLS. Now, the performance hasn't been as good around Son, but we will see what happens. We will see if they can get better and what kind of additions they will make in the future. But this is a good thing for Major League Soccer to have all these new people tuning in to watch the league and hopefully helping it grow. All right, number 6. I understand that Sun Heung-min has also become a big topic off the pitch. He seems to have already become friends with many teammates, including Denny Bouanga. We see there's a bromance going on there. Were LAFC players originally a group known for their social ability and good personalities before this signing?
When we first came into the league, absolutely, with the Diego Rossi's and the Carlos Velas, it was a very our old coach Bob Bradley. It was a very family style team. You know, everybody pushed everybody. You don't see that as much as of late, the last few years. Son has definitely brought something to this team. But from what I understand, that's just him. That's who he is. You know, we just got done talking about the Harry Kanes and the Kevins and stuff. You've seen how he used to like just come up and hug them and do all the stuff like that. Like, that's just who this guy is. And so it's infectious. It makes other people want to give that too, right? And it's not just Denis. It's again, I mentioned, he literally takes Martinez under his arm on the pitch and is talking to him, and then even jokes, "Hey, you don't want to listen to me, vamos." Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is what he does, and he gets to these guys and makes them say, "Hey, basically, I'm here. We're here together, and we're doing this together. We're teammates." And that's what is infectious about this man, and it's beautiful to watch.
So the next question: in the future, many Korean fans will come to LAFC Stadium BMO Field, and to see Sun Heung-min in person. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of buzz. A lot of people want to see him. Is there any information or any tips you could give some of the fans who have never been to the facility, been to the city, that are just newly introduced to the club? Is there any tips you could give them, new fans?
New fans. Well, the stadium is beautiful. You know, it overlooks downtown LA. If you can't really have a bad seat there, it's just beautiful. You're going to get great food. You're going to have a great tailgate party outside. So make sure you get a little early so you can enjoy the festivities that they have going on outside the stadium and everything. And just going there ready to chant. LAFC 3252 is one of the best crowds in MLS. They're going to be loud. It's going to be the environment's just going to be absolutely fantastic.
Okay, so the next question: since when have you loved football? When's the last time? I'm letting you handle all the LAFC stuff, the stadium. So when did you start to love? When did you start to love football, and what makes you love LAFC?
I started loving football, 20 plus years ago, watching Serie A. But when I found out, living in LA for many years, 20 plus years, and we were finally going to get a team after, so long of me being there, I was excited. And so I started right away supporting what they were going to do downtown and all that, you know. And then once we introduced the colors and the badge and what we were going to be, and it was going to be Los Angeles Football Club, it just struck me, right? And it was a thing that I couldn't get out of my body, so much so, like, when I had my daughter, the day she was born, I watched the game with her on my chest in the hospital with a baby, and I'm chanting "Dale, Dale, Dale, Black and Gold." Like, it's in me, and because it's just part of the city, and it is shoulder to shoulder, and that's what it is.
Yeah, I've been following football and loving football for almost 15 years, and I love MLS, and I just want to see the league grow. I want to see it be the best version of it can possibly be, and see all these clubs rise up and be as good as they possibly can be. Now, this is the final question, Nick. As an LAFC fan, and I will answer this as an MLS fan or covering the league, what are your goals for this season?
Goals are always going to be make the playoffs, right? Or whenever you're have any tournaments for that season, you want to make sure you get some trophies. But right now we don't have any more, so it's the playoffs. And expectations are always to get the cup, lift the cup. The reality of it is LAFC has a hard road to get that cup this year, and that's just the facts of the matter. We can't sugarcoat it. We got to be honest here, you know. But you know, I think with the mentality of what Son is bringing to this club, we might see that change. And look, who knows the type of run that we can make. And I'm hopeful, but I believe, you know, it's always going to be lifting a cup. It's never going to be anything less. And, you know, we got to make that happen.
I think with Sony, you have a chance to win the entire league because he's just that type of player. Now, the talent around him is not good enough, I think, to really help him as much as you would like. But with him on the team, you can't count him out. Anything is possible. Winning championships is what this team expects. That's what they expect every year. So even with them not having the right players, they're going to be expecting to win this season. So we'll see if it can happen. You know, Sony just got here, and we'll see what he can do. But Nick, I appreciate you joining me for this. I hope all you guys enjoyed this interview as well. I hope, you know, appreciate Story K for giving us the opportunity to do this. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.
이번 인터뷰를 진행하며 개인적으로 반성했던 이유는 그동안 지나치게 클럽 역사에 집착했기 때문입니다. 신생팀의 그것은 3대째 응원한 클럽과는 다소 다르다는 편견이 있었습니다. 하지만 20년간 축구를 사랑했지만 고향에 팀이 없기에 바다 건너 맨시티를 응원했던 남자에게 고향팀 창단이 어떤 의미였을지 100% 공감했습니다. 그들에겐 LAFC가 레알이자 바르샤이자 시티입니다. 그들을 이어 3대째 응원하는 팬들이 생길 거고 다 함께 역사의 시작을 꽃피우고 있습니다. 우승컵도 선수도 없던 최초의 레알 마드리드에는 분명 윌과 닉 같은 사람들이 있었고 그들은 순수하게 축구를 사랑했을 뿐이며 미래의 레알이 어떻게 될지는 당시까진 누구도 알 수 없었습니다. 그리고 LAFC의 정중앙에 손흥민이 나타났습니다. 과거의 유산을 지키기 위해서가 아니라 자신들이 곧 유산이 되어야 한다는 특명을 안고 출발선에 서 있습니다. 지금 유럽의 빅클럽들은 경기장 벽에 가득히 전설들의 얼굴과 기록들이 빼곡히 쌓여 있다면 LAFC는 100년 후에 그러한 메모리얼을 쌓기 위한 오늘을 보내고 있습니다. 저 또한 감사한 마음으로 거대한 여정에 동참하게 되었고 손흥민의 데뷔골은 어제 MLS 공식 홈페이지의 헤드라인이었던 루브르 박물관 전시가 아니라 지금보다 압도적으로 거대할 미래 홈 스타디움의 박물관에 전시될 것입니다. 잔디가 나쁘면 좋다고 생각하면 됩니다. 역사가 없다면 만들면 됩니다. 손흥민의 축구 인생은 이제 시작입니다.